guys.
Great skill in that front court. He fits right in. Thanks, Doris. And that one's good. And for Kyrie, you know, he can play all 82, Steve, and put this all to rest, but when he goes to the IR as much as he has, it's a fair question to pose.
Well, that's what he's got to do, Kevin. He's got to put together a season or two where he plays, 75, 80, 82 games. Nothing else will put that label to rest. And it's just a matter of being able to do it. Some of it is luck, and some of it is maybe developing a more sound routine to help his body get through the year.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first. This game against Cleveland is the first time they've met this season.
Well, they capitalized on a weak opponent when they took on this team last year, sweeping the season series.
And a whole new group out on the floor for the Celtics. A big group substitution here for Cleveland. James checked in for Verejao. Young comes in for Mike Miller. Dion Waiters checked in for Matthew Dellavedova. And it's Rose in for Kyrie Irving. Even the teams at the bottom match up well against someone. That was the case here, too.
Well, Kevin, maybe your relative strengths don't show up against a top-tier team, but lower the bar of competition a little bit, and in your own way, you can shine.
That's a good point. Celtics leading by 3. Sullinger is screen on Rose. The drive by Rondo. Kicks it out to Bradley. Wide open look. And again, it's Boston converting.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
Yeah, look at the discrepancy in the assist column between these two teams.
Young from outside. Another 3 for Cleveland.
Maybe that'll get him going here in the second quarter. He already knocked down 2 in the first.
For Boston, they come into this one following a loss to Oklahoma City.
They found themselves up against a hot team that night, Kevin, and they just didn't have the manpower defensively to shut them down.
You know, guys, I expected a little more fight out of them than what they showed us. They never strung together any stops like they needed to.
Here's Sullinger. He's coming off a 16-point game against Oklahoma City.
And his rebounding in that game, Kevin, just tremendous. He owned the boards.
Bass. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Brandon Bass now in his 10th season out of LSU. Pick and pop, power forward. A mid-range shot is a strength of his game, and he's really improved defensively the last couple of years as well.
And so he hits both.
Bass is much more of an offensive-minded big man. At 6'8", he's not a big-time defender or rebounder. His job really is to space the floor and put points on the board.
And in front of you now is a list of the players with the highest shooting percentage last season. 4th, LeBron James.
Now that's the name of the game for him, just putting the ball in the bucket. How about the season he had a year ago?
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And Brandon Bass earning the nickname No Pass Bass. Steve, more career turnovers than assists.
Yeah, but that's his role, Kevin. You know, when he's open, knock it down. And what I like about Bass is that he has improved his defense considerably. The last couple of years with Doc Rivers in Boston, that was something that Doc really emphasized.
Rondo drives in. Rose with the block. And he's able to get it back. The Cavaliers trailing. Waiters with the ball. He's picked up by Rondo. Young with no one around. Another 3 for Cleveland.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the three-point line. That's 4 of the last 5. You got to run those guys off the line.
I agree, and the defense is practically giving them those shots, though.
Sullinger with a screen for Brad. Outside, Green. Three-pointer. Boston again missing.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Young from outside, no good.
Got a good look, though. I thought that was going to go down.
Now, the D may have done just enough there, Clark, to bother him and throw that shot off.
There it is, guys, that Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
The Celtics have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Well, the Celtics had a lot of problems, Clark, in a number of places last year, but at home they just struggled to put up points.
And, you know, they hadn't been known for being a high-scoring team in recent years, but no amount of defense could have made up for their woeful offense.
Shot clock at 5. Steps back and fires. Oh, that's blocked. Throws it up high and finished off by LeBron.
You could see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make in a close game, a potential momentum builder. Boston would end the year with just 16 wins at home. That would be the third worst mark in the East.
The drive by Rondo. The shot by Sullinger, wide open. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo.
Great interplay there between those two teammates.
Cleveland's gone 6 of 12 from outside, a very nice 50% mark, shooting the three ball well. Bradley on the double team. Green against Young. Waiters passes to Young. And again, it's Cleveland.
And it might be a bit strange for these Boston fans to not have a dominant team to watch at home, but fortunately for them, the Celtics usually don't stay at the bottom for too long.
Rondo dishes to Bradley. And there's the pass to Green. Back to Bradley. Waiters grabs the miss. Waiters got 3 rebounds now in this one.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
And here's Rondo. 11 points for him in that last game against Oklahoma City. Right side, Green. Back to Rondo. From deep three-point range, and no good trying to get that one. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
What a stellar outing in this one for Young.
He has 20 points, and those 4 3-pointers he's hit have helped him too.
Well, they'd be in a much different position in this game if he wasn't burying those long balls.
Cleveland leading by 4, and so in the game for the Cavaliers, Dion Waiters is out there with Rose. Then there's Haywood, then it's LeBron James, and it's Young in at small forward. And LeBron asked who would be on his Mount Rushmore of NBA great, Steve. He went with Larry, he went with Michael Jordan, and Oscar Robertson.
Well, you got to feel like he probably can sort of associate himself with the Big O. You know, the big body, the strength, the versatility. That's what Oscar was all about. That's what LeBron is all about. So nice to see LeBron's recognition of that era of the NBA.
Hard to argue with those selections. He also said he better be up there too, and I would agree with that.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Hi, Kevin. When former college coach Brad Stevens came in to coach the Boston Celtics, some worried that he'd have a tough time winning over headstrong point guard Rajon Rondo. But the two hit it off. Rondo said they become best friends, adding, "We talk every day. We laugh and joke. He has my full support. I'm behind him 100%. Kevin?
Rondo keeping an open mind and making himself accountable to Stevens' vision, Doris. Thanks. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Rondo against Rose. Rondo kicks to Bass. Here's Green. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Green's got 7 points in the game.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
Well, going into last season, the Celtics had made 6 straight playoff appearances, 2 trips to the finals, and 1 NBA championship. But there was no question last year was the beginning of a rebuild.
Rose against Rondo. Outside Rose. The rebound by the Celtics. Zellinger's got 6 rebounds in the game.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Here's Green, and it's Boston with another.
And it's always tough for fans to swallow the word rebuild, especially when you trade away such beloved players as KG and Paul Pierce. But, you know, I think the Celtics took the prudent and sensible route. I mean, they got good return for their aging All-Stars, and they put themselves in a good position going forward. And as much as you like to sometimes look back or stay in the present, GM's job and an organization's job is to be preparing for the future.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Olynyk, he's checked in for Jared Sullinger. Wallace comes in for Brandon Bass. Evan Turner, he's checked in for Jeff Green. And Smart subbed in for Bradley. Shot clock at 6. Here's Turner. That doesn't go on the chance to tie. And as the Celtics go young, I guess, Steve, you could say greener than ever.
Kevin, I mean, come on, that's awful. But listen, they've acquired a ton of picks over the next 4 years, and who knows, with the Nets battling age and injury, some of those picks could turn out to be good ones. So I like what the front office has done in terms of the future.
Hey, Kevin, I liked your line. I don't care what Steve said.
I really meant it for you than him. He just jumped in. That misses, had a chance to tie it there.
Man, that's too bad. Easy shot there, and you got to knock that one down.
Well, that's a concentration cramp right there. I mean, just lost focus.
The Celtics have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Rondo drives in. There's the dish to Smart. Shot is blocked. Rondo against Young. Tries to snap the cold streak. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Young's got 22 points.
And he should thank the defense for those 2 points. Really, nobody paid him any mind there.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. One of the great stories here, Nick Young getting it done today.
He's been locked in from deep. They're giving him too much breathing room and definitely paying the price for it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Sullinger's checked in for Kelly Olynyk, and it's Thornton in for Rajon Rondo. Good on that shot, and with that, the Cavalier lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Jared Sullinger.
Well, Jared Sullinger slipped in the 2012 draft over concerns about his back. He ended up missing the latter half of that rookie season when he had to have back surgery. Despite his health issues, when he's been on the court, he's shown a lot of promise.
Here's Young. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And Sullinger with a ground-bound game. Even before his back troubles, his game is based on strength and skill.
Yeah, no question. He's got that wide frame, able to carve out space inside. You know, he's a good rebounder. He's got a soft touch. Boston really tried to help him become a three-point shooter as well last year. So he's slowly expanding his game.
There's 1:47 left in the third quarter. Waiters with the ball. He's got 6. Young outside. Good work defensively by Turner.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I do. I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding. So important in a tight game.
Smart kicks to Turner. And a wide open look for Thornton. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
Boy, I'm shocked he didn't make that one. He usually knocks that one down with ease.
Here's Turner. And the shot is good. Turner's got 4 points in the quarter. Cleveland's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. Young with no one around. The step-back jumper is good. And the Cavaliers lead by 1. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
A great matchup. I mean, these two teams really match up well talent-wise. I'm enjoying this.
Now, Cleveland moving it up.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make in a close game. A potential momentum builder.
For Boston, they've gone at a pretty good...